Oh, here we go. We are live. Hello, travelers of the internet, and welcome back to Guardian Studios. Or if you are new to the channel, hey there and welcome to you. My name is JGardo1, and I am your host, guide, and humble bard into the worlds virtual and fantastical. And I am very pleased to be able to welcome you all back to the channel, or in the case of any newcomers, welcome you fresh to the Guardian Studios experience here on my YouTube channel. We are finally back again, my friends. It feels so good to be back. It always feels good to be back on the channel. It really does. Every time a little bit of time has to go between streams, I feel good coming back to it. And this makes me feel even better. Look at this thing. It's finally done. It is finally done. I mean, I still have to put in a cargo line, and we're going to end up having to put in the iceboat highway, but the iceboat highway can wait. The cargo line can wait. That stuff can all wait until I am ready to work on it at this point. This is good. This is good. It is good to be back. So hello, traveler. I'm gonna go ahead and get my intro done because I just realized I haven't actually done it properly. Hello, travelers of the internet. Hello and welcome, travelers of the internet. Welcome back to Guardian Studios. Or if you are new to the channel, then hey there and welcome to you. My name is JGardo1 and I am your host, guide, and humble bard into the worlds virtual and fantastical. And I am very pleased to welcome you all back to the channel, or in the case of the newcomers, welcome you fresh to the Guardian Studios experience. That's quite a mouthful, isn't it? It is quite a mouthful, and I try to make it be one long run-on sentence. It's not proper grammar, but it is darn good feeling to say that. It really, really is. Man, there's is still a long way. I kind of forget how long the distance is until I'm actually riding on the rails. It is crazy the distance this thing has to cover. I mean, 8,000 blocks from Winter Harbor to Sandstorm. I gotta come up with a name for that region. Over here at this base, it's Winter Harbor. What do I call that one? I know the station is Sandstorm. And then over here, Winter Harbor, we have Snowdrift. What do I call just the station? Or what do I call the area over that way? I don't want it to be called Sandstorm as well, because that just doesn't feel like it fits. It doesn't feel right to call it Sandstorm when it's the station that is Sandstorm. What can I call it? That is the question that plagues my mind at the moment. What do I call that region? Well, whatever I end up calling it, it'll be an interesting name, I'm sure. But if anyone's got any suggestions for a name for the desert area and the base that'll be built there, feel free to throw it down in the comments section. Or type it in the chat if you're watching live. I gotta get this minecart. Good grief, look at all the minecarts we got. Why do I have so many minecarts? I don't need that many minecarts. I mean, I might need that many minecarts with rails, or minecarts with chests, I mean, when I put in the cargo line, because the cargo line is going to be this line here, and it's going to go all the way pretty much non-stop from point A to point B, carrying chest carts and hopper carts. Though the hopper carts will probably only ever have to go through one time, because they're going to go through to clean up any items that I drop on the powered rails as I'm cleaning up the rail line, getting it ready for everything else. Sand and snow. I am still proud of this thing. This big old Christmas tree over here. We're gonna have to build one at each base. Or do some different holiday-themed thing at each base. That's actually a good idea. Have different bases have different holiday statues or monuments. That could be good. Got to figure out what I am going to be taking with me over to that base, though, because I'm going over there before long to get set up, to get prepped and ready for building an actual base there. It's been a while coming, but the time has come to do it. Check out these minecarts with chests. That's right, those are the minecarts with chests that I used when I had all that cobblestone that I was moving. And then it turned out I didn't need all of it. I felt so silly for having bothered with that. Okay. So if I'm going to the other end of the rail line, I'm going to need wood. I'm gonna take enough of each sapling that I can plant them in good number. Because I don't want to have to keep going back and forth for the sake of wood. Doing mass wood farming, I wouldn't mind going back and forth. But getting settled, getting started, I don't see the reason why I should have to. You know what I mean? I'm gonna send eight of all the majors to mangrove, because I can't stand mangrove plant farming anyway. 4 cherry blossom. And 4 acacia. Because cherry and acacia I don't use a whole lot. I don't use jungle a lot either. But all the rest I do use a good amount, so. Basically trying to plan what do I need to make sure I have with me when I go to set up shop in the other area. And the first thing that comes to mind is I'm going to need materials for construction. I'm gonna have to make sure I take some dirt with me, because finding dirt out that way is not necessarily going to be easy. Bring some snow. No, don't bring snow. I don't need snow. What I need is all the wood types. I need the ability to farm all the wood types. So we're also going to bring one of each of the fungi so that we can start planting that. Kelp. Most definitely. I want to be able to farm kelp at either place. Oh, right, that's our bug apple. I forgot about that. For a moment there, I forgot that we had an apple that was bugged. Enchanted golden apples are not supposed to behave that way. They're not supposed to be literally enchanted. They're supposed to be golden... supposed to be golden apples with a different glow and a purple name. What else do I need to take with me? I can find lava when I get there, so I'm not worried about finding lava. Just trying to make sure I've got everything that I'm definitely going to need for whatever work I end up doing at that end of the rails. Hey there, Leo! Glad you can make it to the stream, my dude. Glad you could make it. How you doing? You doing alright? I hope so. I realize, of course, that I could just do a, I could just do that, and the stuff would be waiting for me at the other end of the line. But, as you can see, my ender chest is pretty well full. I've yet to bother with going to the end, because I don't want to get the elytra. As soon as I get the elytra, it's over. All bets are off after that. Once I've got elytra, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when I end up getting bored of flying back and forth from point A to point B all the time. Riding the rails may be boring, but at least then I'm not, you know, skipping over everything. I'm not flying all over the place just for one little thing and getting either tired of that or just getting bored of it some other way. Why did everything... That is not how we do. That is not how you do. I'd already made sure everything... Oy. I don't understand the way... I don't understand why that behaved the way it did just now. That is weird. I think I'm going to need a bunch of wool. What kind of wool have I got? I got a piece of white wool there. I've got a need. Hang on. Oh, yeah. I see. Someone suggested a base design for the desert, and I like the idea of it for a starter base at this point. I think when we go to the desert, we're going to make a starter base, but for the design, we're going to need some particular materials. And we can always just build something inspired by the suggestion. We don't have to build the exact thing that was suggested, the exact thing that was described, but at the same time, I'm me. I am me, so I'm going to take things to a different kind of level. Yep, I'm going to take a block of moss, because I can set up moss there. Why not? No reason not to. Take some furnaces, pop those in there. Ooh, I've been meaning to put this up somewhere. A bell. I got a bell from a village. I think it was this village. One thing I will be glad to get away from, with not being here in the snow, when we're working in the desert, I won't have to deal with you guys. You big, bloated, Bonehead polar bears. I hate those things anymore. Fascinating in real life, a pain in the neck in Minecraft. And if you don't agree, it's only because you haven't had to deal with them the way that I have. Hello, dinos. Hello, hello, hello. Hey, saw what you put in the chat on the Discord? I now understand what you were talking about. And I find it funny. I find it really funny that someone else pointed out, that someone said use that clip to point it out, and they, yeah. It's kind of funny that it's out there. That is funny. Do I have shears anywhere? I want to shear some sheep. I might need to take some sheep with me, actually, come to think of it. When it comes to the chickens, I've got eggs. I can take eggs with me. This being my first base, I wanted to make sure I had all the kinds of animals, including the, well, see? I've got eggs. Including the, different variants of the animals that already exist. I think that one Allay went to a point where he can't get over. Yep, that's kind of what it looks like happened to him. Okay, get out of my way. That is not what I was trying to do. I was not trying to throw any of the eggs. I need to get to my house and I need to sleep. No worries, dinos. I totally understand. You get some rest, my friend, and I hope everything goes well for you tomorrow. We will see you the next time we get to see you. Oh gosh. I was going to actually do a journal on the world, and I never did it. That makes me feel really aggravated with myself for some reason. It's like, J-Guard, you couldn't be bothered to follow through on that idea? What is the matter with you? I don't know if I can take these eggs with me. I want to, so that I can have chickens there, but I think that's too many eggs. I don't know. Thinking. Am I even gonna do this? I'm not even sure right now. I'm not even sure what in the world I'm thinking of doing. Am I thinking of just pulling out, essentially, moving all the way over there, and I don't know. I just don't know. It is a question that I must ask myself. Am I going to that end of the line? And am I going to ever come back? The answer to both questions, I think, is yes. I'm going to the end of the line. Yes, I will end up coming back. It just might be a little while. I'd like to set up a base at the other end of the line. I want bases of different architectural styles in different places all throughout this world. That's what I've wanted from the start. Crimson Nylium. Cool. That reminds me. Can I pull a little trickery doobery-doo? I think I can do a little trickery doobery-doo. But I will need Bones. Have you any bones for me? No? That's right, here's some bones. It's not very many bones, but it's bones. It's a handful of bones. Bones? Bones? Tain't ringing any bells. Yeah, sure it didn't. Your day is what now, Leo? I was meaning to actually ask, how is everybody doing? People having good days? That was not supposed to happen. Why did that happen? That was not supposed to happen. Oh, that's right. I have a bone meal maker. The bone meal maker. Ah, I see, I see. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Leo. I'm glad your day has been a good one. Mine's been pretty good, too. Pretty chill, pretty laid back, relaxed, relatively at ease. I wonder how long that'll last. Nah, I'm kidding. I know it's gonna last the rest of the night. It's been a good day. Boop, boop. Oop. I did not mean to do that. And boop, because where else am I gonna put it? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of just doing whatever has popped into my head. And in the moment, that's preparing stuff to take with me to the desert, so that I can start farming items over there for the stuff I want to do there. Which, mainly, I want to set up... The main thing I want to do there is I want to set up another base. A small base. A simple base. Kind of like this one. My day has been pretty good, Leo. Thank you for asking. My day has been pretty good. Not exactly a perfect day. Been a little dull here and there, but then, what day isn't? Let me ask you that sincerely. What day is not a little dull? But it's been a pretty good day. It's been a pretty good day. All joking aside, it has been a pretty good day. That's a lot of different kinds of wool in there. I am wondering if I should take a couple of sheep with me, because I don't know if there's really sheep in that direction. But I'm sure I'll be able to find sheep closer to the desert where I'm going, and not have to worry about pushing animals onto rails to send them on their way, you know? But, I don't know. But I do want to get some more wool. That's really all the ones that are left that are... yeah, okay. I do not have any idea why I bothered building up such a supply of sheep. I'm also starting to question why I bothered with the allays in the cow pen, because I ended up just going with pork chops all the time. Oh, thank you, little fella. I wasn't actually sure if you had any for me. This stuff. I just realized what this stuff is. I just remember what this stuff is for. That stuff is meant for making wolf armor. Do wolves teleport as you ride on rails? I don't actually remember if they do or not. Oh, nice. Cool. Yeah, I saw your message before you redacted it. I think I might take a cat and a wolf with me. One of the midnight cats. Possibly a jelly cat, too. Hey, no worries, dude. No worries. Sounds like a tasty treat. What am I going to do in the desert? I'm thinking a big tent to start. Might be nice. A nice big tent. An enclosed one. That's why I was planning on bringing wool. Because that's kind of what you use to make tents. But now I'm not so sure. Must think on this. Think. I'm kind of thinking this area is going to be like... This place might get left behind as a memorial of sorts to the time we spent here. But I don't know. I do not know. I honestly do not know what I'm doing anymore. I'm like... My mind is all over the place. I finally finished the Grand Gyros Railway, and I'm hitting that unfortunately potent feeling of what is there to do next? What do I do next? It's an irritating feeling. Very irritating. Because what do I do next? I've got ideas, but nothing concrete. Hang on. I'm just taking a glance at... that makes sense. That makes sense. And that would fit with the area I'm gonna be in. Okay, yeah. Yeah, somebody gave me a suggestion for a base design I could do. I like the idea. Huh. I do. I like that idea. And actually, it fits perfectly with what the villagers in that region have for their homes. Yes. Okay, new plan. New plan for the base that I'm going to build. I know what I'm going to build now. I have a new plan for it, and I like the new plan. It's going to be good plan. Very good plan. I am wondering, though, should I take any of these animals back with me? No, I'm not going to actually take any of the animals back with me. I'm mostly wondering about the sheep. Should I take any of them with me? Oh, wow. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think that allay might be stuck. Maybe I need to move these allays from that window to another one. Come here, my little egg collectors. Now they can't get trapped over there. They could get themselves caught outside, but I think the chances of that are much slimmer now. And if it turns out they are still able to get themselves stuck on the outside or something, I'll just move the leads to somewhere else to keep them from getting stuck. I will figure it out. And I've reached a conclusion. This pen is overcrowded with too many sheep. I need to get rid of a bunch of them so I can see what colors I have, what colors I need. Because at some point, I know my sheep collection was supposed to become part of an automatic wool farm. Go and pop the wool in there. Okay, so there's still 8 more colors that I would need to get to finish the sheep collection. And there's also still an extra sheep. Sorry, little friend. I'm thinking I may put a bunch of my allays in a big bottle. I've done that before, but I'm starting to feel like these little guys might be too many. I might have too many of these guys. It's a weird thing to say after having been so intent on making sure I had lots of them, but I don't know. another thing that I'm going to need to bring with me. I need to bring plants. I need the seeds to the plants that I'm going to be farming. So I'm going to set up a farm for those plants, for those crops. At the new base in the desert. Got all the trees, we've got the stuff needed for the trees, we've got sweet berries, cactus, I've got a stack of kelp to make a kelp farm, got dirt, because we always need dirt in order to do any of this kind of planting stuff. We got the crops. We still need melon and pumpkin seeds, which if I just bring a few melon slices, and 2 pumpkins, we've got that covered too. And then sugarcane. Bring a stack of that, start a farm of that out there too. And speaking of sugarcane, I should probably go ahead and do a quick harvest. Let the little guys scoop it all up. Thank you, little guy. Right, that makes sense. This makes sense. They weren't all just tossing it all to me immediately because there was still more to collect that they could collect. That makes sense. Hmm. After a bit of consideration, I think I am going to end up taking... Oh, 2 wolves and 2 cats with me to the other end of the line. And I say that because that way I've got them over there. I can build up an army of wolves there too. And maybe they're the ones that get the other base design that I was considering doing. That'd be kind of fitting, kind of funny for them. Let me think. What else do I need? Is there anything that I'm forgetting to make sure I have with me? I don't think so. I think that's everything that I need to take with me. Oh, well, we got some melon and pumpkin seeds already here. That's kind of funny. There is some workstations I'm going to want to take with me, or have a form of with me. I'm also going to need... Funny, I'm going to need to find out where I just put all that little bit of cobblestone that I had with me. I'm going to need to take some of that with me, too. I want to bring a junk hoe that I can go ahead and use for tilling land to make room for my crops. That's a little bit of celebration for the fact that we actually have the Grand Gyros Railway finished. That honestly makes me really, really, really happy. Happier than I can properly express. Yeah, I don't know if there's anything else that I need to prepare before departure. When it comes to getting my pet wolves and cats to go, I can just unset them, bring them over to the station, put them in carts, and then when I'm ready, power the cart and push them onto the rail line. And we've already seen mobs in carts perform just fine. I do kind of still want to bring the eggs for the different chicken types. That way I know I've got chickens over there at least. Or at least have a good chance of having chickens. Unfortunately, there is never any guarantee on that part. You know what? I'm going to take just a half stack of sugarcane and half a stack of kelp to save on some inventory space. Bring 16 of each kind of egg. Hope that we can get a couple chickens. Definitely want a composter so I can make bone meal for growing stuff fast. This one I'm going to use to actually get some of this extra stuff moved in my inventory. Oh, I know what I did with the cobblestone. It's at the station. Got a water bucket. There's already a river at the desert. Oh, I know what to call that region. Oasis. Ooh, now that's an idea. Make an oasis in that area. I've got a piece of moss. The oasis. Now that is an idea. Ooh, that is gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that. Building up an oasis. Yeah. That could be fun. That could be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Aha! That is now full. We have 2 blast furnaces, 2 regular furnaces, a grindstone in case I need it for anything, a composter which I'll need for bone meal, and of course a stone cutter for cutting up blocks. Stone, sandstone. That's good. Got a block of moss. We got the necessary stuff for all the wood types. We got crops. Yeah, I think we're ready to head on out. Well, maybe. Just a little more consideration I must go through here. I've got to be sure of what I'm doing. Oh, I've got an extra yellow sheep. You know what? Where's some wheat? We are going to take 2 sheep with us. What color do we get? I'm kind of curious. Do we just get another yellow? We do. Okay, that's fine. What I want to do is go get a couple of leads out. Actually, I should have an ender chest over here at the farms anyway. I want to get a couple. I want to get a lead out. Get a couple of leads. We're going to put leads on 1, 2. Actually, hang on. I've got this wrong way around, though. We need more leads than that. Because we're going to leash everything but the 2 yellows that we're taking with us. Now, where's the little lamb? There he is. Two off there for the moment. Break out spirit bed. Take a nap. The transition from snow to sand. That is the main focus of this session. I wish I had said as much in my description. Oh well. Before I get too ahead of myself, I should go set things up at the station. I have got plans, my friends. I have got plans. Probably gonna have to retitle this session, though. Now I really think about it. Alright, what do we got? We have got you set up wrong. Or at least wrong for my intentions. Oh, wait a minute. I don't need to make any more. I've got plenty. I was thinking I needed to make more powered rails. I don't. I got plenty of them. I just need to power them on. That's where the problem comes in. Stack to take with me. probably be using a little bit of it here, but... Alright, let's see here. Boop, 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 bip, bop, boop. Think. Think. Need a stick. Need to make a lever. Because what I want to do is set it up so I can make all those powered rails activate at once. So I just need a stick. That's all I really need. 2 bamboo will do. That's another thing I need to take with me. Bamboo! Yeah, just a tiny little handful of bamboo should do it. It's not complicated. Bamboo grows and spreads like a weed. So having any amount of it will be easy to farm. It'll be easy to farm more of it as we go. Now that's an animal I should farm at some point. Rabbits. Oi! Get off of there! I just realized that I can make this much easier, make it much less likely that I'm going to mess this up by placing the rails different. Temporarily moving some torches. Ah! Except that makes me run out of powered rails, so I do need to make more. Darn it! Which means I need more sticks. More stick. Wait a minute. Can I do it from here? I only need one stick. 2 of the bamboo. 2 bamboo, just 2 bamboo. That is all I need, just 2 bamboo. That'll make a stick that I can use to make sure this thing is done. And a temporary cobblestone there will finish the job. Excellent. Gonna leave these rails here because I don't really need them for now. Cows and pigs I'll find out in that region if I can. If I can't, then I'll have to travel a little way away from there, but I'll find them because I already found them in that direction once before. Why did I come over here to find a bed? I've got a bed on me. There's a bed at the station. I have a mind that is running all over the place, trying to figure out what I'm doing, when it's actually a very simple thing. Oh no. They did exactly what I was hoping they wouldn't do. That's funny. The exact thing I was hoping that they wouldn't do, they still ended up doing. They got themselves stuck on the outside. Well, there's going to be no real chance of that this time, if I'm right. That should keep them from being able to cause themselves any kind of trouble. I think. Do I know that for a fact? No. So, we'll be hoping on that point. Not that it's really going to matter too much. We're not going to be here for some time. We will come back. We will work on this area a bit more. Do some more stuff with it. But we are also going to be elsewhere. So, we've got a desert region that I want to build in. So we're going to take a Midna, we're going to take a Jelly, we're going to take this armored wolf and this other wolf. We're going to take them with us. We're going to take a couple of sheep with us, because I don't know if we're going to find any sheep in the desert. All right, here we go. Oh, no, 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 that's not what I was trying to do! I was trying to take the leads off of him. I forgot I was holding the wheat. I did. I honestly kind of forgot. Well, you know what? Pop. One of them go bye-bye. One of them goes bye-bye. The other two... We'll have to wait for the one to grow now, but... It's the price you pay. There we go. We just need that jelly to get in. We hop in, and this should send us... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just thought of something. That one rail is not actually going to get power. We need to make sure that it will get power so that it activates. Oh, wait. It will activate. We just have to activate a different... Okay, we just have to flick a different lever. Alright. Got my stuff. Make sure all the minecarts are up against the cobble. That way we know everybody will be launched together. Activate the launch. Activate the speed rails. Activate the launch sequence. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that didn't work the way it was supposed to. That did not work the way that it was supposed to. We went the wrong way at first. And I think we might have left behind one of the wolves. Okay. Mistakes were made. But... we've got one wolf. We got the cats. We got the sheep. And this is going to take long enough that the baby sheep is probably going to end up sprouting into an adult by the time we get there. I just want to make sure that we get there. Didn't this go around. Now we know that we have to make sure that the rails guide the entire path of any minecarts we are trying to have go in a specific direction. That might also explain why when I... Huh. That might also explain something else. I don't know if it... I can't remember if it was on stream or off stream, but the other day I was riding the rails with some allays. I think it was with allays. Trying to travel back from Sandstorm to Snowdrift, and I ended up going the wrong way when I loaded into the world on the rails. I don't know why. I was traveling to the south Oh wait, no, we're headed east. Okay, minecarts prefer to go east. I said the wrong thing a minute ago. Minecarts seem to prefer to go east if they go onto a rail, if they go onto powered rails without first being guided in the right direction by a regular rail. Turning a curve, I mean. I could be wrong on that point. But it looks like they all, if I'm right, they also seem to prefer to go north. Because I loaded into the world, and immediately, since I was in a minecart when I got off the world, I was in the minecart. But it turned around. I didn't even bump into anything. It just automatically turned around. Or at least I don't think I bumped into anything. I might have bumped into the alley that was ahead of me, or whatever minecart was ahead of me, but I don't think I did. But now I know it's probably a good idea to make sure that I'm aimed in the right direction the whole time. Yeah, I'm going to have to do some serious thinking on how to make it so I can launch cargo and animals onto minecart rails from now on. And it's very clear that it's easier to send them on a straightaway path rather than have them be going around corners and curves. Or at least it seems like that. Honestly, I can't be sure. I haven't done a whole lot of work with minecarts before. I haven't done a whole lot of work with minecarts in terms of transporting mobs and traveling long distances with them. The most I've done with that was a minecart railroad that was done years ago by myself and my brother Enya. We were playing on a world together. He and I were both, I think I should say that we were both still kind of early on in our Minecraft interest. We started getting into it together. We'd set up a villager spawner at one end of a really long minecart rail. It wasn't as long as this one, but it was, I want to say, a couple thousand blocks distance we had to travel. But at the far end, in a swamp, was a villager breeder that we set up out of a village. And back at the other end was our base. That was the most that I ever really did with minecarts. That was the most I ever really did with minecarts and transporting mobs. Was using it to transport villagers. Up until this world, I've only ever used minecarts for that. I've not really used them for transporting large numbers of mobs. Only ever one villager at a time. This time around, I don't have to worry about transporting villagers from the one end of the line to the other end. I am just transporting myself, a couple of pets, and a couple of sheep. The sheep, because I don't know if I'll find sheep in the desert or in the area around the desert for a while, and I want to make sure I've got a way to farm wool. The wolves and the cats, because I want to have them around my base to help ward off creepers in the case of the cats, and other mobs in the case of the wolves. I mean, an iron golem would do good for that too. An iron golem could do good for warding off mobs. But if I have wolves, I have an easy way to build an army. With iron golems, I have to have enough iron to do that, and I'm not going to have an iron farm at that end of the rail line for a little while. But my plan is that soon we are going to get into what I originally was into with this channel and Minecraft. Hey, Has anybody else noticed something? Oh my gosh, did they fix it? Did they fix it? I just realized something. I'm not seeing nearly as much... Oh my gosh, they did. They I think they did! Just before I started the stream, there was an update file for my system to download for Minecraft. I think they finally fixed the lag! I'm not seeing nearly as much lag as I was seeing before. I just realized this whole session, I haven't had the game lock up on me like it had been doing. Oh my gosh, they fixed it! Or at least they fixed it most of the way. I mean, you saw just a second ago. Oh, no. No. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. But it's not nearly as bad as it was. It used to be, before the update just today, that every other time I turned around, I'd end up stuck in place for almost a whole minute. I'd be stuck in place for up to like half a minute, if not a full minute or more. Just now, it felt like I was only buffering for like a second, if that. But I think that's mainly because it's loading the chunks. When we were back at base, I barely had any lag issues. I was barely lagging at all back at the base, and I've got tons of animals and allays there. I just freaking realized that. There was a note with the update that I mentioned that there were like 200 or more bugs that had been ironed out. Maybe that's an update that's gone out to everywhere? I don't know. It might just be on this system, or it could be to everywhere. But if it is to everywhere, then they may have fixed a bunch of the lag issues we were having. If it's just the system, then they've still fixed some of the lag issues. Because I'm not having nearly as many. Huh. Imagine that. They actually fixed a problem again. Been a while since they've done that. I'm being partially serious, partially joking when I say that. But it would be good if they have, in fact, fixed some of the lag bugs that we've been having. Because they were driving me nuts. You guys have heard me get real irritated with the lag. It's not for no reason. The lag makes it hard to enjoy playing the game. So if they have fixed the lag issues I was seeing, then oh my gosh, Mojang, you guys have done some good today. Because I remember traveling on the rails, I would get stopped for full seconds over the last several streams. And even if it was just me traveling, not me with a bunch of mobs around me going on the rail line. So yeah, something must have given. Something must have shifted. Hello, Strider! Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Hello, hello, hello. Hope you're having a good day or night, wherever you are in the world. Hope you enjoy the session. Okay, there goes the first cat and the lamb. There goes the sheep. There goes the other cat. Here I go. There goes the wolf that we managed to bring with us. And we did leave behind a wolf. Dagnabbit. I was hoping I hadn't had that happen. I'm still annoyed that we don't have, like, furnace carts. A bug fix day would have been a good day to also throw in the furnace cart. But that's my only issue with the fact that we have an update. We just had an update today. Again, could just be for this system, could have been the whole Bedrock edition. I don't know. I've not seen any notes about an update for Bedrock as a whole. I just know that my PlayStation had to download an update for Bedrock Edition before it could play. So, hey, either way, my PlayStation is not having as much of a lag issue with this game anymore. The lag issue seems to have been fixed. So long as that is the case, I don't care. So, Strider, right now I'm just streaming directly from my PlayStation. However, I would be happy to help you with your OBS and streaming or recording. My number one tip for you, my friend, would be set up keybinds in the settings that can turn recording on and off. That can turn streams on and off. Set up a keybind for starting and ending a stream. Set one up for starting and ending recording. And then if you need to set it up so that you can have specific keybinds to turn off or to change scenes or to turn off audio from like a microphone or turn off the visual from a certain window on your machinery or whatever, you set those up too. That's the best advice I can give you. Keybinds can be a big help when it comes to streaming on OBS. I've already learned. And this is coming from somebody who hasn't used it a whole lot. But yeah, keybinds. Go to settings, find out where the keybinds live, and set up keybinds to turn things on and off, to swap scenes or whatever, if it will let you do that. I don't know if it lets you use keybinds for swapping scenes or whatever, but figure that stuff out, and that's one big chunk of OBS made simple. Because when I do stream on my computer, or when I record on my computer, that's what I use. I use OBS. So I ended up learning that keybinds can be a big help. Any system or program where they give you the option to use keybinds, it's a good idea to learn what those keybinds can do. What are the limitations? What can they do? What can they not do to make your life easier? I may have to hop out of my minecart and make sure that everything up ahead is set up so that these guys don't all go back the other way. Yep, I was right. I had to do that. Because... oh, not for the reason that I expected. Whoops. Alright, we got all the animals here that I was trying to get here, except for one wayward wolf that we're going to have to go back and get at some point. It's a little sad. But we'll get the little wolf. We'll get the other wolf and bring it with us. Get it settled. Have everything figured out. Just want to make sure you are further up on there so that... Aha! The second sheep has indeed grown. Cool. That's perfect. Alright, and I am going to ride back. Oh, there's the chests. There's the chests. I want to dump some stuff in a chest real quick. So it's out of my way. Doop, 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 doop. Doop, 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 doop. Okay. And we'll split these up. Alright, time for me to ride back. Because I want to go get that second wolf and get it on the way here. Like I said, I want to make sure I've got 2 wolves to start my wolf army, to start a wolf pack over here. I want to have 2 cats so that I can start breeding cats over here and have cats to help guard me against creepers. Because I'm going to have a much harder time fighting out here in the desert because it's going to be husks. There's going to be husks and skeletons and creepers and spiders. Strays are a pain, especially with their slowness arrows, but there's going to be a lot more kinds of mobs out here than there are back home. Good for hunting, if I decide to go mob hunting. Not good for dealing with all the different kinds of mobs. That is going to be a problem. But a problem I will endure. But I want to make sure I've got wolves and cats to help me deal with that stuff. We brought the 2 sheep, so I'll have the ability to farm wool over at this side. And it's yellow wool, which is nice and bright and sunny. And that's nice. That's a bonus. But I need to go back to the other end of the line, get the wolf from there. I'll probably finish getting that wolf all the way over here between sessions, but next time around, we will put our time into prepping for our base over at this end of the line. A starter base over by Sandstorm where we can get ourselves settled. And start figuring out what we're going to do for our main base in this area. The area we are going to call Oasis. Because it's a desert with a ton of water. A desert with a ton of water running through it and all around it. What else would you call it? Seriously, what else would you call this desert area? If you got any suggestions, leave them in the comments section. I would be happy to field any suggestions. Also, feel free to throw any suggestions of builds that I can do out in this area my way. I will consider them all if I can. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, please be sure to leave likes and comments. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Check out the About page for links to other pages with more content from yours truly, as well as other ways to help support the channels. Make sure to share the channel with your friends who think they might enjoy the content too. And probably one of the most important things, don't forget to smack that notification bell so that you don't miss the next stream or video when one of those goes up too. That all being said, thank you again for watching. I am JGuard01, your guide, bard, and humble host into the worlds virtual and fantastical. And I'll see y'all next time, right here on Guardian Studios. Bye!